Hello there, today I'm going to be making a video on non-hardy geraniums, otherwise known as pelargoniums. So you can see some specimens in front of me here, and I've grown all of these geraniums from seed myself. So you can see I've got some more mature specimens here and some less mature specimens at the back here. So with regards to these mature ones, I sowed them last autumn in my other polytunnel in these pots, and then I proceeded to overwinter them. And you can see by doing this you get them into flowering early, because if you set the seeds now, the chances of them being in flower this year before the frosts come are relatively unlikely. So if you sow them the year before and then overwinter them in a frost-free place, then your chances of getting flowers the time you want them the following year are much more likely indeed. So these ones at the back here, what I did as I sowed them in these cell trays about 6 weeks to 2 months ago now. They need a bit of a feed and I need to plant them out. But you can see they're nowhere near flowering as this one and these ones here coming. So that's a really good way to get your pelargoniums all ready for flowering at the right time. So with regards to overwintering, so you sow them, up until maybe September, October, weather permitting, and you get them to about this height, and then you could put them into a shed or a garage as long as it's getting some light through a window or something like that. You could overwinter them inside on a windowsill. You could overwinter them in a polytunnel such as this, as long as you keep the frost off, because in general pelargoniums will not tolerate frost. But got a little thing to add to this in a moment, and we'll get to that shortly. So with regards to getting the seeds, there are so many different varieties available now, so many different colours. If you went down your local garden centre, if you looked on the internet, I'm sure it wouldn't take you very long to get seeds, and quite often you can buy them in bulk and get them at a very, very good price indeed. So with regards to feeding, a nice balanced general purpose fertiliser: nitrogen, potassium, phosphorus. Nitrogen for the leaf growth, phosphorus for the flowering, and potassium for the strength. A nice general purpose one. And you can see these ones at the back here are certainly in need of a feed. Now, I've noticed in some of my customers' gardens actually that they've overwintered some geraniums successfully out in the garden, which is intriguing. But it has to be said that last winter wasn't a particularly cold one here in the southeast of the UK, and we do generally tend to get some of the more favourable weather conditions of the UK here. But I do know of a geranium that's actually been outside for 2 winters and it's still doing well. Granted, it is sheltered, but in general, you want to make sure that you protect your geranium plants from frost, or you could risk losing them. So growing geraniums, pelargoniums from seed is a very, very worthwhile thing to do. If you take a specimen such as this, if you purchased something like that from somewhere, you could end up paying like 1, 2, 3. I have even seen mature geranium plants for £4 per plant, and you really, really can grow them yourself, and it's a very, very cost-effective thing to do if you have the time, effort and the will and the want to do it. So in a nutshell, if you want to get your geranium plants to flower at the time you want them to, which will be during the late spring, summer and into autumn, the thing to do is to sow the seeds the year before you want them, and then they will be in a position to flower when you want them to. If you like my work, please feel free to like, share and subscribe. You can always check me out on Dan_Home Gardens on Instagram if you're interested. And if you've got any questions on geraniums or anything else, please feel free to post those below. See you next time and enjoy your bank holiday weekend.